Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 83rd episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Marketing, Sales, and Mindset. Today, I will be interviewing my friend, Angela Lago. Angela is a dietitian, blogger, direct sales consultant, and marketing and sales expert. She runs the Direct Sales Success for Dietitians Facebook group and helps dietitians make money online without feeling salesy or unethical. Angela is a student in our very own Blogging Accelerator program and is going to be a coach in the Blogging Accelerator program when we relaunch. More details will be coming soon about that, but I'm very excited to have her join us in the Blogging Accelerator program family as a coach. So welcome, Angela. Would you like to share a few words before we get started?
Sure. Thank you. I'm happy to be here once again. And so just to tell you a little bit more about myself, I'm kind of like one person by day and another person by night. So during the day, I'm a clinical nutrition manager at a large hospital here in my city. And I've been a registered dietitian for about 20 years. So after hours, like Katie said, I'm in her Blogging Accelerator program. I also have a direct sales business in the gut health and mental wellness space. And then I'm developing a coaching program right now to mentor dietitians in the sales and marketing space. So I'm super excited about that, and also very excited about being a guest coach in the Blogging Accelerator program.
Awesome. So I forgot to mention that you were on the podcast before, and so thanks for mentioning that. So if anyone wants to hear Angela's previous episode, you can go check out episode 47, where she talked all about direct sales and supplements. It was a very good conversation that we had about ethics and direct sales and supplements. It was a really fun one.
All the good questions that we get.
Yeah, right. So thank you for sharing a little bit more about yourself, your background, and what you do. So today we're going to be talking about marketing, sales, and mindset, all of which are so important for building a side hustle. So let's start off by talking about the first two, marketing and sales. Can you explain a little bit more about what these things are and why they are so important?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Katie, as I've gone through with my journey in direct sales, affiliate marketing, I've learned so much about these two particular things, sales and marketing. And one of the reasons why I focus on them so much with dietitians, especially, is because we just don't have a lot of experience with them. And it's really a barrier at times. And so it's really important for dietitians to be able to communicate the value that they have, to be whether that's verbal, written, through graphics, through live video. So that marketing piece is something you have to be able to put yourself out there in some form or fashion. And then the sales piece, we have to be comfortable making offers. Sometimes they're free offers, sometimes they're paid, sometimes they're low ticket, sometimes they're high ticket. But if you're going to sell something, you have to be able to get comfortable with sales. And so, demonstrating your value and then helping someone see that value so they know if they want to work with you or not are very, very important. And I'm really passionate about helping dietitians learn that.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because you're right. We didn't learn this stuff in school. And, I always say you can be the best dietitian in the world. You could have the best program, but if you don't know marketing and sales, you're not going to get any clients. You're not going to be able to help impact and change people's lives. You're not going to be able to make money, and we need to make money to run a profitable business, right? So yeah, I think that these are two really important things in a business. And one thing too, as you were talking, I was thinking about how I always tell myself selling is helping. A lot of dietitians, we're helpers. We want to help people, and we need to get comfortable with selling because that is how we are able to reach out, impact, and help people in big, meaningful ways.
Right. So, and a lot of times, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of times, people will say, well, it's not really selling. And I think we need to get comfortable with it is selling and that's okay.
Yep.
Like it's okay to sell. And, it's not only selling though. It's like you said, it's providing value, it's providing solutions that people actually need and are willing to pay for. It's, offering help. It's really serving. So you can't think of it just as, oh, it's selling and selling is bad. It's like, it really is selling and it's okay to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think is the biggest barrier for dietitians when it comes to sales?
I personally think that it's mindset. I think, I've dealt with that myself. I've been in sales for about 3 years now, and I have come really a long way with that, even since I've known you. I mean, it's a process, and it's been, a really big mindset shift for me. And that's what I see so much with other dietitians. And I think that's why it's important as a mentor and coach to other dietitians to be able to set that expectation. So, for example, in my job as a clinical nutrition manager, for example, when I have new dietitians come in, I have one right now, it's completely overwhelming. We have a very large institution. And so in that role, I set the expectation, it's going to take you 6 months before you feel comfortable here, before you wrap your mind around this and feel like you've got it. And I think in sales and marketing, when it comes to mindset, we're kind of lacking when it comes to setting a realistic expectation for a dietitian. So in direct sales and starting your own business, when I started direct sales, I thought, okay, in a few months, I'll have it all down. Like, no, it's a few years. And it would have been helpful at the start for someone to set that expectation for me. So it's really the mindset piece, which I know we're going to talk a lot about your the coaching in your business accelerator program in a little bit, but that piece and the expectations I think is really important.
Yeah. Yeah. That is really huge. And I like that perspective that it takes time. I think a lot of dietitians who struggle with perfectionism, they want to be good at things and they want to be good right away. And if they struggle with something, they feel like, oh, I'm not good at it. And they give up and they quit before they reach the point where they would get better.
Right.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for dietitians to work on improving their mindset, particularly around sales and marketing and all of the areas?
Yeah, well, I think, it's important to, like we were saying, be realistic with yourself. It's important to not let that perfectionism get in the way. And, many times, we have to work on overcoming our fears. So I've heard a quote, and I can't right now remember who it's from, but the quote is something like, fear is a door that you step through. It's not a door that you stop at. And so I think if dietitians can think, okay, I'm scared, but I'm moving forward. So, don't worry about judgment. Don't worry about feeling salesy. Don't worry if you feel like you don't know enough to speak on a subject, so I think that's one of my biggest pieces of advice for dietitians is to step through the door of fear instead of stopping at the door.
I love that. I've never heard that before. Fear is the door that you step through. That's deep. I think you're right. So many people, they stand in front of the door and they're so scared about what's on the other side, or they turn around and run the other way when they just step through it, and they will get through it. And, I think of fear and the fear of failure. And I always say that greatness is on the other side of failure. It's on the other side of fear, because so often people give up before that point because they're so worried about, what if I fail? What if things aren't, what if I'm not perfect? And so what if you are? That's a good thing, because it means you're out there doing the thing. And I do believe that failure is one of the best teachers. I've learned so much more through failure than I would have ever imagined possible. But a lot of it has to do with, like you said, just that mindset. And we just got to continue to work on breaking down these mindset barriers in the journey that I don't think ends.
For sure.
We're always working on it.
Yeah, it really does. And when you and I met in person, we had a lot of great talks about this, because we're at different parts of our journey,
Yeah.
but some of the struggles are still the same. And there's someone else that can, maybe is just starting out. And while we may be, 2-3 years ahead of them, it's still, the mindset is the mindset,
Yeah.
and it's the fear is still there. And I mean, I love analogies, and so sticking with the door of fear analogy, in my own Facebook group, it's like I see this happening so often. It's like, they're reaching for the handle. No, I can't do it. It's like they're almost there and then they retreat back. And so it's so exciting when you see someone actually just go for it.
Yeah.
And the excitement and confidence that you get from that.
Yeah, for sure. And I loved what you said about how we're all at different levels, and about how sometimes the mindset struggles where we're first starting or different stages of our business, they're different, but they don't really go away. Actually, I was on a call with one of my business coaches who we have in common yesterday, and he is amazing. He is a multimillionaire and like so amazing in the online space, in the coaching space. And he shared that he gave a presentation this past weekend, and he thought to himself, like, that's the worst presentation. Like, I didn't do a good job. And then one of his staff members was like, that was the best talk I've ever seen you give. And he was like, oh, so, I think that negative voice that sometimes we hear, it's not like we hit a point where it goes away. And I think sometimes we think like, oh, if I'm still struggling with my mindset, I'm not doing good enough. It's like, no, it continues. That's why it's really important to have community coaches,
right?
People in your life who are going to speak truth into you and help give you that direction.
And I always like to say it's kind of like pulling people off the ledge. Like, I know you've pulled me off the ledge before. Our coach has pulled me off the ledge, because it's like you get to a point and you think, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have what it takes. Like, no one is going to want to know this. But then it's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
So it really helps having the community for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So gosh, we've been talking about a lot of different things, but when it comes to marketing, sales, and mindset, this is one of the reasons that I really wanted to have Angela come on board as a guest coach in the Blogging Accelerator program when it relaunches. So for those of you who are familiar with my Blogging Accelerator program, it is my signature program where I help dietitians create websites to build traffic so that way they can make multiple streams of passive income without seeing patients. Sometimes they see patients too, but most of people, they just want to make money through blogging. So it is one of my favorite things that I do, helping dietitians to create blogs. The program actually, at the time of this recording, the doors are closed. I closed the doors to the program for the first time. And I did that because I really wanted to focus on how can I continue to make this program bigger and better to truly help dietitians build a business based in blogging online. And so what I'm doing behind the scenes is working on how can I help people in the program now. Once you're in the program, you're in it for life. So everyone who's already joined, they're going to get all these cool benefits when they come out. But then when it relaunches, there's just going to be so much more value to help people, again, not just to create a blog, not just to build traffic, but to build a legitimate business based in blogging where they can make massive impact, make money, and have flexibility and having time freedom, financial freedom, and all of the things. So bringing Angela on board is really part of one of the things I'm doing behind the scenes, because marketing, sales, and mindset are so important when it comes to building a blog business or any type of business. And I know that Angela has absolutely been rocking it in this space, and she has so much to bring. And I know that she will really bring value to the community. So can you share a little bit more about what you will be teaching inside of the Blogging Accelerator program when it is relaunched?
Sure. And I'm very excited about being part of that community in a guest coaching role, because I've been part of the community for, I think it's coming up on like 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I do know quite, yes, I do know quite a few of the dietitians in there, because it is a wonderful, very supportive and informative community, because I have a lot of questions and they get answered in there. So I have worked on kind of a schedule that could, change tentatively, but some of the topics that I'm planning to discuss are, how you can establish authority in your niche. Definitely, we have to talk about imposter feelings, because that's such a big thing for dietitians, and I think anyone that's trying to grow. So self-doubt, understanding the customer journey, the difference between staying motivated and being committed. Like, this is one that I really love, because believe it or not, Katie and I are not always motivated, but we're very committed. So there's a difference. I also want to talk about the fear behind sales and how, the mind shift behind making offers and that whole dynamic. Peer judgment is a huge one. Definitely also looking at your growth as a journey and not a destination. That's one I'm really excited about, because I feel like, and I know dietitians can understand this when you're working with patients, for weight loss or different goals that they have, once you get to your, destination or where you think you want to be, you don't just stop doing all the things that got you there. And so I think, that mindset shift is going to be really important for the audience and the Blogging Accelerator program. Definitely perfectionism and how we can not let that keep us from taking action. And one of my new favorite topics to talk about is abundance versus scarcity when it comes to mindset and collaborations, because I really feel like that is the key to growing, is when you're able to collaborate with other dietitians and healthcare professionals without worrying about, if you're sharing them with your audience, or if you're, letting them in on your program, that it's going to take something away from you. So I think that'll be kind of more later in my time of coaching, but I think that's going to be a really good one too. So I have a lot of subjects laid out that I'm really excited about.
I'm excited about it too. I'm really, really excited. And I hope that everyone in the Blogging Accelerator program is excited. And even for those who are going to be joining our next cohort. So I still have not announced when the Blogging Accelerator program is going to be launched again, but it's going to be soon, guys. It's going to be really soon. So if you want to learn more about the Blogging Accelerator program, you can go to bloggingacceleratorprogram.com and you can sign up to get on the wait list. So that way you will be the first in the know for when the doors open. When the doors do open again, there's going to be a limited number of spots to enroll. So make sure you're on the wait list so you could be the first to know. So and I love what you're talking about with collaboration, because actually our episode last week, episode 82, was all about collaboration. And we talked to Celestina, a dietitian who is really rocking the space of collaboration and abundance. So excited. So Angela, I know that you have your very own program coming up soon to help dietitians with sales, a topic that is just so important because, like I said, you could be the best dietitian in the world, have the best programs, the best services, but if you can't figure out the marketing and sales pieces, then you're not going to be able to have success in your business, your side hustle, and in the thing that you're so passionate about doing. So can you tell us a little bit more about this program that you're going to be launching?
I would love to. So the Sales and Marketing Accelerator for Dietitians is going to launch on April 25th. And when this is airing, it's 2022. And it's an 8-week course. So we are going to be covering all things sales and marketing, even a lot of mindset, kind of what this whole episode is about.
Yeah.
And there's going to be built-in accountability, built-in community. And I really envision this as a program where you're working on these skills as I'm teaching them. So it's not going to be something where, I give, the coaching program call, and then you have a ton of work to do the next week. I want it to be really interactive and actionable while we're actually spending that hour together. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to talk about gaining a lot of clarity, because that also is like a really huge thing for dietitians. It's so hard to narrow down and be super specific because we're worried about leaving someone out. Yeah. But it's just so hard to get to your ideal client if you can't be so specific. We'll touch on branding, mindset around sales and money. We'll go into the sales process, because it can't make sense to you if you don't understand the sales process. You have to understand the customer journey, and it's not something that you're going to just decide to do it and then it's going to happen the next week. You have to understand the sales process. We're going to learn marketing strategy. Also kind of in the same around collaboration, how to leverage your sphere of influence. That's a really important topic. And especially when you're talking about growth and expansion, which is where the course will be complete when we talk about that phase. So like, how do you move forward? How do you take all of this and continue to grow instead of just finish the course and be like, okay, well, that was nice and I'm done. So I want it to be something that's like launching people off in a solid sales and marketing strategy. So just kind of as you said with the wait list, my wait list is open now. And I would love, I sent you the link. So people, if you want to put it in your show notes, people can get on the wait list so they can get the information as it comes out as far as registering. Registration does open April 15th and will begin on April 25th. So I'm very excited about this. It will be 50% off for the first group that's going through. So my beta group will get an amazing, amazing, amazing deal because you'll be the first ones to do it. So I'm super excited about that.
Awesome. And I'm so excited about this too, because this is a course that dietitians need so much. So this episode is going to be airing live on April 6th, 2022. So if you are watching this live or anytime before the 15th, be sure to check out the show notes and go get on the wait list. And again, be the first to know about Angela's program, because this beta is going to be a steal of a deal, saving 50%. And I know Angela, working with her, she provides so much value, so much support, everything that you're going to need. And I like that your program isn't just about learning. I feel like so often we learn, but if it's just in our head and we're not doing it, it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve anyone. So I love that your program is going to be action-based so they can get out there, dive deep into marketing, into sales, and really accelerate that process of essentially getting clients and building their business. So
yes,
so excited. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Angela. I always love having you on. So
yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Can you let people know where they can find you online?
Sure. So on Instagram, it's Direct Sales Dietitian. And then I do have a private Facebook group called Direct Sales Success for Dietitians. So those are the best places to find me right now.
Awesome. Well, go follow Angela, everyone. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
You guys, I have been working hard behind the scenes to make the Blogging Accelerator program even bigger and better than ever. I cannot wait to release more information for you guys, but if you want to be the first to know, be sure to head on over to bloggingacceleratorprogram.com and get on the wait list.